more to come because there's more Black VCs coming by the day too. You know?
Wow, and it's funny as I hear you guys talk, I'm sitting here thinking, because a part of my platform, the Melanated Convo YouTube channel, I do a lot about history. I talk a lot about people from history because it's important to me that we identify with the greatness like you guys are speaking to. And some people aren't aware of the specific stories of the people who've had to come before us, who had to take a lot of hell just to get us to where we are now. And listening to you guys talk, just to be honest, you guys are actually doing the same thing. Like your company's called Rares, but it seems like what you're doing is extremely rare as well. And hopefully it's the beginning of something special. Now, Gerome, how important is it for you being an ex-athlete who, to me, going to Harvard, I mean, that's making smart cool. And all too often, like I was just talking about hip hop a few minutes ago, we idolize the wrong type of figures in our community, and certain type of things get highlighted, whether it be athletics or rappers or some form of an entertainer. How important was it for you to go back to school just to show not just yourself, but all of us that, okay, I can be an athlete, I can be this big, massive man, but I value learning. I value evolving my mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was extremely important. One, on a personal level, to show my mom and give my mom gratitude, the thank you that she deserved, raising me, my brother, my sister, during the time that she raised us with not any resources, showing her that I appreciated everything she did for me, and I'm still appreciating it by furthering the man that she created. I'm further educating this man. But more importantly, you're right. We grow up and we can't help who we idolize sometimes growing up in the hood. For me, the dope boys sometimes were the coolest ones. I always say the dope boys had the biggest hearts. And back then, the dope boys allowed me to pursue my sports career without hindering me because they recognized that I had a talent. And they kept my nose clean. They said, man, this ain't the path for you. You go do sports, basically. And I looked up to them for that. You know what I'm saying? But I think seeing young Black men do other things like go to Harvard or play in the NFL or become engineers and stuff like that, that creates another path or avenue to look up to other people through, another lens in which we can respect and appreciate people who look like us through. So it was important for me. I knew I'd have kids one day. Fortunately, I have two boys now. Being able to show them that not only do I have a degree from Notre Dame, not only was I an NFL captain, but oh, by the way, I also went to Harvard. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to show them that these things are tangible in life. That there's not some mythical thing like that only happens to them over there. It's like, no, if you work hard enough, you can do anything you want to do. If you work hard enough, It was important for me to be able to show my kids eventually when I had them that you can do this. But also when I go talk to young men in schools and community centers to show them that there's more than one path in life. I was fortunate enough to not only be an athlete, but also get an MBA at Harvard, but also be an entrepreneur. And I can show them direct steps that I took to achieve each one of those things, So to answer your question, it was very important for me to be able to achieve that. And that discipline, discipline is doing the things you don't want to do anyway type thing. That discipline has allowed me to become the entrepreneur that I think that I am, that I think Laureen invested in, doing the things that I don't want to do. Dotting the T's, dotting the I's and crossing the T's, making sure that my team is always on point, making sure I'm always on point with the team. But more importantly, being able to educate the community. One thing about Rares is, well, let me rewind a little bit. One thing about me, how I grew up, I grew up in a community with financial literacy and financial education wasn't a big thing. Like, my mom put her money in the mattress because she didn't trust the banks, right? So really changing the way people look at banking